the softwoods. I think we're going to be out of snow, but we'll go slow walking this road, make a loop. I'm going to leave the scope on it while we walk up the skid trail and stuff, but if we get on the track, the scope's coming off. We did just find a medium-sized track, not very much spacing. This buck actually came up from down in this hollow little bowl, and he's head up in the mountain. We're gonna go down into a spot down here where we tracked a big buck last year, and until we get some more snow, we're just gonna peter around in there and see if we can maybe jump something up. It's a good place to pick up a buck track. Right there, see it? I see him. That's a buck. It's gotta be right. It's big. Big body deer. I was hoping he'd run out in this open stuff, but they never do. There's a gigantic burl on a yellow birch tree down in this piece of woods. And I was scanning looking for that, and I looked over in that opening, and that deer ran through it. I could have winged a prayer at him up through there, but it sounded like he was kind of quartering away from us.
That's the biggest deer I've seen in Maine yet.
That's why I wanted to go slow. When you start seeing tracks like that, everybody thinks they gotta be in a freaking speed race, but it's dead calm today. There's a running track right there, right there, right there. We gotta go back and see if we can find a walking track, because you can't tell how big it is when it's running. I can't find a definitive print there. A lot of people think that moose and deer, won't hang out together, but that deer we just saw was right here with these two moose. I mean, they're all right together. You see that deer track right there? It's got snow in it. And there's moose tracks on top of it too. I know there's two moose because we saw two different beds, but I'm not convinced now. There might have been two deer too. This is going to be a conundrum. We're in kind of a pickle. That other deer's with that moose right there. We need to go back down there and have a sandwich and figure out which spot we're going to take off from. We finally found the deer's bed. You can tell it's from earlier because see, it's got some snow in it. He laid down and some of it's melted out, and then it looks like it snowed on top of it again. So that was probably from real early this morning. And then he was down there wandering around with those moose, and who knows what happened. We're gonna take a leak, and last time I took a leak, Brian filmed me, so I'm gonna make sure I let him know I'm gonna. Basically following him in dust, and sometimes we don't have any snow. I know it's a buck because I smelled him before I saw the track, but I have to tell what he might be. If we get a definite print out here somewhere where there's more snow, we can tell. Oh, we followed it down into the backside of a bog, but when it got down to the bog and got out in the open, it was snowing hard enough, it was covering it up, and it wasn't a track to waste the rest of the day on. Plus, he was going down into a nasty place that we'd never get him out of, so we're gonna go try to find another track now. I just got right here, smelled the buck, just like I did this morning. This track here, this is a good track, it's the best one we've seen today. He's got a good stride too. I hope we didn't jump him because we ain't got time to let him go. Go slow. Good stride. It's long. I think we jumped him. I knew he was close. It's dead calm today. There ain't a hint of a breeze, and it's thick in here. Kind of limited for time. It's 20 minutes of 3, and we're a ways from the truck. Normally you'd give him a half hour when you jump him, but we're just gonna walk behind him easy and slow and keep watching, and I'll blow my grunt tube once in a while. We'll stay on him as long as we can. He ran for 100 yards. He seems to have settled back down. I don't know. He's not bounding now. He's just taking long strides. He's gonna bring us right into that winter beach. From here down, all the way across to the sugar shack. It's all that freaking winter beach.
Oh yeah, cheesecake. My favorite.
I think that's made for spaghetti.
Looks awesome.
I'm gonna make my phone calls, take a shower, and go to bed.
I'm going to bed immediately. I'm so tired. Feels good though. It's a great day.
On days when it's snowing like this, I like to put a little electrical tape on my gun barrel so you don't end up with snow down it. It doesn't affect your gun at all. No scope today. It's a tracking snow. Fiber optic sight's gonna pick him up in this snow. There's probably a good 6 inches of snow. Hopefully we can find a track today. We got some wind. Nobody's been in here ahead of us, so hopefully we can get it done today. Put 5 miles on this morning, doing a big figure 8 loop through this piece of woods here, and we cut one doe track that had a coyote track on top of it, and that was all we saw for new tracks. And there we're a little bit drier, and we got our bellies full, and 3 hours to go try to find a track that we can hurry up and kill. So that's the plan.
I think that big buck we tracked in here yesterday, if we'd had this wind, I think we could have killed him. If we could find one in here today, we could do something with him, I think. That's too bad that wasn't a buck. I had that fiber optic bead right on her shoulder. I had the safety off. We'll go down and check the track, and maybe we'll backtrack it a little ways in case there's a buck behind. I'll tell you what, she's got a big foot. That's a big doe. Look at the size of that track. She didn't have a little one with her. We need to pay attention because there could be a buck coming down behind her. Found a track. If it is a buck, it ain't no big 200-pounder, I don't think. We better get on it and follow it. Maybe it'll bring us to another deer. We haven't seen too many tracks today. That's only the first track that we found. So if he's 160 or 70-pound buck with an 8-point rack, if we can get good footage, I'll pull the trigger on him. He walked right up our tracks from where we just walked out to have lunch. To feed or bed down or looking for does or something, but he bedded down right there, so we've made some time on it. Feeding on old man's beard. Took us on a chase through that mess. He went into that thick stuff, but it was too thick for us to walk through. He ain't far ahead of us. And our boot tracks again. I thought the way he was meandering around in there, I thought he was gonna bed down, but he picked some of the nastiest stuff to go through. It was unbelievable. That's the same buck we drove yesterday, I'll bet you. We're going right up the same place again. If he does the same thing he did yesterday, we're gonna go up over the top of the mountain and then have to walk all the way back around with the truck again. If it was in the morning, I've tracked him up through here before in the morning and got over on the other side, but we'd be the next hour. We're gonna be in stuff just like that. We gotta let him go. It's 3:30.
This is only the second time that I've had a camera guy with me. I mean, I filmed myself and some of my hunts before. Because normally I guide every week, but Hal and Chris asked me last year if I would set aside a week to have a camera guy. So I thought we had a good week.
Yeah, this was a good trip, Lee. Thank you. Thank you for having me along.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Had a ton of fun.